Hey, you guys. Hey, you guys. It's Sunday Funday school, y'all. But before we get into that, Scott, are you ready for an AD selection for Father's Day? Happy Father's Day, y'all. Happy Father's Day.
A-B selection, okay.
That was the A and the B selection
Oh, okay.
from the choir.
Gotcha.
Yes. So first, before we even get into it, we got to wish everybody a happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day to y'all fathers. Okay, the fathers of the fathers. Happy Father's Day to Scott. Scott's a dad, y'all. Happy Father's Day to my dad and all the dads out there. Happy Father's Day to God, the original father. Happy Father's Day to Adam. We didn't talk about him. He's father number one. Just happy Father's Day. What you doing for Father's Day, Scott? What y'all doing for Father's Day out there?
Relax.
Period. Okay, well, we ain't gonna hold y'all long. We're gonna light this candle. It's called puddle jumping, aka that's your baptism. Huh? Scott, do you want to puddle jump? You want to jump in this puddle and get baptized?
Sure.
Not today. Because you're supposed to be relaxing.
Okay.
Okay, well, let's light our candle and let's get this thing popping. We still trying to teach Scott this Bible here. Okay, y'all ready? You ready, Scott?
I'm ready.
Okay, you ready for your lesson? Okay, this chapter today that we're getting in on is the Tower of Babel. Are you familiar with that, Scott?
Tower of Babel?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Wait, you don't know that story? Oh, wow. Oh, you really don't know the Bible. Okay, well, you about to learn. I feel like that's like, because that's how we got the different languages. That's how they explain it. Okay, Scott's not interested until we get into it. Okay, well, here we go. Noah's family, because remember, Noah didn't got off the ark. Now, remember, we didn't got all them animals on there. It was funky. It smelled like zoos and farms and everything in between. Now they didn't got off. Remember, we didn't, God made it rain because he got tired. Now we getting off the boat. We are debarking like a carnival cruise, but like with animals. Okay. Noah's family and all the creatures he had saved came off the ark unto a clean, washed earth. As God wanted, Noah's sons Shem, Ham, and Japheth started their own families. The years passed and their families grew. So many people were living on the earth. Happy Father's Day to Shem, Ham, and Japheth, too. Period. Happy Father's Day, honey. You repopulated the earth. Period.
Wow, how long did that take?
This is why Scott didn't read nothing, because he was busy questioning everything. That does not matter. It matter, Scott. We here. There are billions and billions of people served here on this planet right now. Don't worry about that.
Well, I'm just kind of wondering, they're on an ark that unalived everybody else, and now they're still around and the earth is repopulated.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to get into the real Bible for that, Scott. There is one right over there on that shelf. Okay, finally, there were too many people living in one place, and they started to move apart. Some went to a good flat land called Babel. They settled there and discovered how to make bricks by baking them. With bricks, they could make houses, and soon a whole city rose up. Period. They called it New York. I'm kidding. It was called Babel. But the people of Babel worried that they were not famous. Was there YouTube back then? Why would y'all be worried about being famous? How do you know nobody knew? How do you know people knew? And well known to people in other lands. They decided to use their bricks to build a tower, a very tall tower, would make them famous and bind them together as a people. They decided their tower would reach high as heaven. Work started on the tower. As it got taller and taller, God took notice of it. God was over there like, what y'all down there doing? It probably was quiet. Scott, do you know the rule of if your kids are quiet, you probably need to go check on them because that means they doing something?
Yeah.
They got quiet. And God was like, what y'all down there doing? Let me go check on these people. He also heard that the tower was intended to reach into heaven. That was too bold. God could easily have stopped the building through force. He could have hurt or unalived the Babylonians for making him angry. Instead, God used words. There are times I be using words too. Scott don't like it when I do it though. Since the flood, all men spoke the same language because they came from the same family. God saw that by talking together, people were able to decide things together and work on projects together. He also saw that building a tower would not be the end of the people's boldness. They would go on to make other selfish plans that would anger God. So you might have to hit that flood button again.
God needs some anger management.
Scott, he got it when Jesus came. We'll get there. Shh, calm down. Okay, he's stressed. He been building worlds. He done created animals. This man is stressed out. He had 1 day off of the week. That's it. That's stressful. Jesus gonna come and calm all this down. Don't worry, we'll get there. God stopped the building of the tower by making people speak different languages. Suddenly, they found they didn't understand one another. They couldn't make plans together. There are people that can't make plans together and they speak the same language. We've seen them. They go on talk shows. They be on divorce court. We didn't see them on paternity court. That's a new thing we watching. It's crazy. I mean, there are people that speak the same language. Neighbors outside don't. They speak the same language and can't stand each other. But hey, okay, I guess God said we'll get there. One man didn't know what the other man wanted, so they were no longer able to work together. They just babbled. Now, at God's direction, people of one language moved together in one area. Other people who spoke a different language moved away into their own lands. The work on the tower stopped. From then on, the tower stood unfinished because God had used people just babble to one another, had made people just babble to one another. The tower was known as the Tower of Babel. Period. Okay, we on to chapter 2, child. It's called The Sacrifice. Ooh, but it's not the Jesus sacrifice. It's not that. We ain't got there yet. We're still in the Old Testament here. Abraham and his wife Sarah loved God. They worshiped him and obeyed him in all ways. And yet, Abraham and Sarah were sad because they had no children and now they were old. Girl, y'all need IVF. Go talk to Janet. Ma'am, Sarah, go talk to Janet. Janet Jackson had a baby at 50. Ask her what she did. Abraham's obedience to God pleased him greatly. So God said to Abraham, Sarah shall bear a child, a son. The two old people could hardly believe this wonderful news, but their faith in God was strong. Look at how strong it is, God. Did you see me flex?
Wow.
Ooh, I did it. I got it. I still got it. They dared to hope that they would be parents. Finally, their son Isaac was born, a fine, healthy child. Abraham and Sarah were overjoyed. Isaac grew tall and strong, and he too followed Abraham in his obedience to God. Wait a minute. This book is skipping a whole nother child that Abraham had outside of Sarah by her maid.
Oh. Well, this is a kid's book, I think, right?
Tell it all. The kids gonna find out eventually. You might as well go tell them what happened. Abraham was out here, doing what he did with Sarah's maid. One day, God decided to test Abraham. He told Abraham that he must sacrifice his son, his only son. That was not his only son. Isaac to him. With the saddest heart, Abraham roused his servants and told them to saddle his donkey. He told Isaac to prepare for a trip, and he himself cut enough wood to burn a large animal. There was a movie about this. I think it was The Boy in a Bubble. Remember, I told you about that. Y'all got to check that movie out. It's crazy. This dad, happy Father's Day, this dad took his son to Disney World and then set him on fire. It was the craziest thing. And then that little boy had to live in a bubble because he had like severe burns. It was crazy. And it's a real story. It really, really happened. It was crazy. It sounds like that's what I look. And then he got the boy carrying the wood too. Sir, why he got to carry his own wood that you going to burn him up with? Why?
That's the way they did it back then.
Period. He said that God wanted him to make a burnt sacrifice on Mount Moriah. They set off on the journey, which could take about 3 days. Isaac carried a knife, and one of the servants carried a fiery torch. Who this is that's carrying the wood right here? The travelers reached Mount Moriah and climbed up some distance. When Abraham saw the altar not far away, he called a halt. To the two servants, he said, "Wait here with the donkey while my son and I go further up to the altar and worship." So 2 went up, but 1 gonna come back. Sir, you don't think them 2 servants gonna say what happened to Isaac?
Not to place the question.
That is hardly true. Back then, they didn't want to lose no jobs. That might be the only thing they had. Okay, well, hey, period. While my son and I go further up to the altar and worship, tying the wood into Isaac's back. Tie the wood to Isaac's back. Give me the torch. Motioning Isaac forward with the knife, Abraham started out again. "Father," said Isaac, "you have forgotten a lamb for the sacrifice." Awkward. "Do not worry, my son," answered Abraham. "God will provide the sacrifice. He provided you to us. We weren't even supposed to have you. We was like 178 years old." And really, for real, like, remember I was showing you them dates where the people was living at 800 years? Like, they was old. They was like 750 years old, having children. So I guess he was like, "God provided me you, sir. And then he told me I got to send you back. So whatever." When they reached the altar, Abraham untied the wood and spread it on the altar. But instead of looking around for an animal to sacrifice, he motioned Isaac to lie down on the altar. Very frightened, Isaac did. So I wouldn't have did that. I would have been running down that hill screaming for them servants. Abraham would have got beat up by one of these right here. I would have pulled one of these off my back and beat him up. I'm sorry. Somebody got to go. Sorry. Scott, what say you? Would you have just laid on the altar like, ooh?
No.
Y'all, hey, my daddy said lay down. That's how that movie that I was telling y'all about, The Boy in a Bubble, that's how it started. That's how it happened, y'all. He lay perfectly still while his father tied him tightly to the wood and the altar. Abraham picked up a large knife from the stone that supported the propped up torch. Drawing a deep breath, he walked steadily to the altar. With the knife held in his fist, he drew back his arm. Just as he was about to plunge the knife into Isaac's heart, God sent an angel to hold back Abraham's wrist. "Now God knows you are truly obedient and love him above everyone else," said the angel. "Untie Isaac and live in happiness with a great reward to come." Just as Abraham had finished untying Isaac and was embracing him, they heard a sound behind them. What do you think it was, Scott? Was it the police coming or CPS coming because this man had tried to unalive his child?
Should be.
It should be. But no. That's not what it was. They turned to see a ram struggling to free his horns from thick woody bushes where he was caught. The Lord has provided, shouted Abraham. Like he is like, yes, 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 yes. Happy Father's Day to me. Shouted Abraham with a joyous laugh. He and Isaac quickly caught the ram and tied it where Isaac had lain. Then, very solemnly, Abraham and Isaac made a burnt offering to God. God reward to Abraham was a promise that his descendants would be abundantly blessed and as numerous as the stars in the sky. This was indeed a great reward for a man who had great faith.
Because he burned a ram alive.
No. Scott, see, these lessons are going to take a very long time, but Scott, as we can see. No, the reason why he rewarded him was because he had showed that he was down. He was a ride or die. That he was willing to sacrifice the most precious thing to him, his child that he had got late in life. The thing that God gave him, he was willing to sacrifice it. Are you willing to do that, Scott?
No.
We're going to do one more chapter since he ain't. Maybe this will help. Maybe this will help.
Why can't he wants to prove themselves they got to kill people or animals? Why can't he just be like, prove your love to me and feed that starving person? That sounds like something God would do.
Well, clearly you haven't read the Bible, Scott, to know what the hell is going on.
Guess not.
Out here in these streets. Okay? That's why we're here. That's why we're here. And we will continue to be here till you figure it out.
All right.
Last chapter, y'all. Because I'm not going to hold y'all. I know y'all want to get out here and start celebrating the holiday, baby.
Don't be sacrificing anybody.
Don't sacrifice yourself or others. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. A pillar of salt. The Jordan Valley was one of the most beautiful spots on all the earth. The Garden of the Lord, people called it. Is this the Garden of Eden or is this something else? Birds sang in the olive trees, fish leaped in the sparkling water, and vines bent low with sweet grapes. Yes, honey. Amid all this beauty were two wicked cities. Dang. We can't have nothing nice. We want to build skyscrapers and that get towed up. We got the most beautiful, greenish going on. And in between it is two wicked cities. We can't get right, huh? We can't act right. This is why we can't rise as a people. Sodom and Gomorrah. The Lord watched with great sadness as the people there lied and cheated and stole from one another every day. Now, let me tell y'all something. If y'all want to know exactly what these people were doing, if y'all want to know the deets, the tea, go into the book of Jasher. It talks about the city of Sodom and Gomorrah. They were savages, honey. Them people were just starving each other. It was crazy. It was crazy the foolishness them fools were doing. It was a mess. It was a mess, honey. Okay? This just gives you a snippet. The book of Jasher gives you the whole tea, honey. It gives you the tea, the sugar, the cream, all of it. The tea bag, the water, the teapot, all of it. You see that teapot back there? Book of Jasher. Okay. The Lord watched with great sadness as the people there lied, cheated, and stole from one another every day. I read it twice. He went to his faithful servant Abraham and said, the people of Sodom and Gomorrah are very evil. I will send my angel to destroy the cities. Now, Abraham had a nephew, Lot, who lived in Sodom. Book of Joshua talk about that too. Abraham knew Lot loved the Lord, that he lived a good life in spite of the evil that was all around him. Lord, Abraham asked, Will you destroy the city if you can find 50 good people there? The Lord answered, No, I will not destroy Sodom if I can find 50 good people. Abraham continued, Do not be angry with me, O Lord, but what if there are 40 good people, or 30, or only 20? Like, this man is bargaining. But good on him. He was trying to save them people because they was over there not trying to save themselves. They were a mess. It was a mess. If what was in the book of Jasher is true, it was a mess. It was a problem. They were problems. Them people were problems. Will you destroy the city then? God told his servant, No. If I find even 10 good people there, I will not destroy it. So the Lord sent his angels to Sodom. It was evening, and Lot was sitting by the city gate when he saw two strangers walk up to the dusty road. Lot bowed to the men. Welcome, strangers. Kindly be my guests tonight. The angels answered, No, good sir. We have sleeping mats. We will spend the night in the town square. That is not what you want. I promise you do not want them problems. You don't want to be there with your sleeping mats in the middle of the city. No, that's not what you want. Not according to what I read. That's not it. It's not giving what you think is given, sirs, angels, whatever the hell y'all go by. Lord, but Lot begged them, please come home with me. It's giving Teddy Pendergrass, come on over to my place. Sodom is a dangerous place for strangers. Oh, yes, baby. I have plenty of food and drinks, enough to share. So the men went to Lot's house. They washed and ate. And as they prepared for bed, strange noises sounded in the streets outside. It was greedy, evil men of Sodom, young and old, from every part of the city. Come out, handsome visitors. We want to see you. Lot, where are your guests? They look so interesting. Send them out so that we can meet them. That is not what they were saying, child. Them men, let me tell you what these men was over here trying to do. They can't put it because it's a child book. But baby, they was trying to hunch them. They were trying to hunch the angels. They were trying to the angels in whatever hole was available, child. I don't even know if angels have holes like that. But these men here, they was like, what's up? Did somebody drop the soap? Talking about come out here, handsome visitors. Lot went in outside and locked the door behind him. Men of Sodom. That's where they get the word sodomy from. And I'm not kidding. I know the evil things you plan to do to my guests. Please, I beg you, do not harm these visitors. But the men would not listen. They pushed Lot aside. They smushed them. They was like, get out of here. They pushed Lot aside and tried to break the door down. This story missing some parts. I'm gonna tell y'all the parts. So I'm that girl. He tried to give, he was like, well, y'all can have my daughters. He just threw them under the bus. Just threw the daughters under the bus. Was like, well, if y'all don't do it to them, if y'all don't pretend like they dropped the soap, y'all can just have my daughters. And they still was like, nah, we don't want that. We didn't already have that. I don't know if they had it already or not, but they was like, we don't want that. We want them angels up in there. We saw them drop some soap. We ready to help them pick it up. But the men would not listen. They pushed Lot aside, I already said that, and tried to break down the door. The angels pulled Lot inside and blinded the wicked men gathering outside of the house. It was then that Lot knew his visitors were from the Lord. You must leave this wicked city at once, the angel said. Like, sir, y'all almost slept in the city center. Y'all would have been done, honey. They would have ripped y'all apart if y'all had slept in the middle of that city center. You must leave this wicked city at once, the angel said. The Lord has sent us to destroy it. Take your family and run for your lives. Run, Forrest, run. If you do, you will be, do not stop or look back. If you do, you will also be destroyed with the city. So Lot, his wife, and his two daughters that he tried to throw under the bus, these two little girls right here, ran up the valley, and the flames of fire rained down on Sodom and Gomorrah. This time, God said, I'm not doing the water thing. Y'all gonna catch this fire, baby. I'm gonna set y'all on fire. Lot could feel the heat from the burning city behind him. Run, my wife and daughters, run. Do not look back. The Lord will watch over us on the mountains. But Lot's wife cried bitter tears as she thought of her house and her belongings burning up in the fire. She had to have just one last look back. So she turned her head. In an instant, she became a pillar of salt. Girl, they told you not to do it now. If they was over there making people blind and all this old craziness, honey, what made you think that they did not mean what they say and say what they meant? But hey, consequences. Look at her. Look at her. Consequences. Lot and his daughters made it safely up the mountain where they found Abraham waiting for them. Down in the valley, nothing remained of Sodom and Gomorrah but ashes. And there, by the side of the road, stood a tall rock made of solid salt. Girl, you should have just kept your head forward. What do Edna Mode say? Edna Mode from The Incredibles. I never look back, darling. It gets in the way of my now. You should have took Edna Mode's thing. Girl, don't look back, baby. It gets in the way of your now. It gets in the way. And you turn into salt.
Yeah, some good thing.
Okay, so we did 3 chapters today. I think Scott's starting to get it. Maybe he's not. He over here being a hater. So, did you have anything else? Any questions? Any reflections on what we did?
I don't know. I don't want to get struck down.
Or turn into a pillar of salt, or, got to get on a boat with a bunch of animals and it rained for 40 days and 40 nights. Do you have any lessons that you learned?
I would just say maybe not lessons I learned, but it sounds like the people of those cities probably learned from the top.
But they learned.
They learned how to be wicked.
Are you saying God made them bad?
Well,
this is why we got to keep going. We might have to pull out the actual Bible and really let him hear what time it is. Look, don't be looking back because it gets in the way of your now. What happened is it happened. You can't cry over spilled milk. Reflect on it, learn the lessons, keep it moving. That's why we do lessons learned here. What else did we learn? They didn't got off the boat. Don't be building too much because I guess God don't like it. Don't do Sears Tower. Don't go that crazy. Don't do that. Well, now we can do it because Jesus came. So he reset it for us. But don't be going too big, too bold, because people will come and destroy it. Maybe even God. And don't be sacrificing yourself, kids, other people. Just don't be sacrificing. It's crazy. I think that's all I got.
Oh, great.
So with that, from wherever we are to wherever you are, peace, love, happiness. I hope everybody has a happy Father's Day. I hope your daddies have happy Father's Day. I hope God has a happy Father's Day. I hope Adam has a happy Father's Day. I hope everybody has a happy Father's Day. And so Scott can have a happy Father's Day. We're going to conclude. Thank you guys for coming to Sunday Funday School. We'll be back next Sunday so we can teach Scott what time it is. So with that, we'll see you guys later. Peace, love, happiness. We'll see y'all later. Bye. We'll be tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow because I got to get Sherlock and I got to finish Great Expectations. We got to get that done. So we'll see you later. Bye. Oh, let me blow out the candle. That concludes everything.